Cat.A high security inmates. So on this video I'm going to talk about Colin Gunn. I met Colin when I was in Frankland in 2008, I think it was, when I met him. I got to Frankland when I was 2007, and I think it might have been 2007 or 2008 when I met Colin. So Colin Gunn was doing a life sentence for a double murder, and I think he was doing a 35-year tariff. So yeah, he was doing a life sentence with a minimum term of 35 years. Colin was from Nottingham, and he was his firm at the time was known as the Bestwood Cartel. Now Colin, my first impressions and first experiences with Colin, what I thought of Colin, when I first met him, because Colin was on G-Wing in Frankland, I was on F-Wing, and I first met Colin when we were down healthcare. And healthcare is when you, obviously when you go down for a doctor's appointment or a dentist appointment, F and G wings get took down at the same time. So the only time you ever seen the other inmates off the other wings was either at the gym, because we had the gym together, or healthcare, or in the workshops. So I met Colin. I never even knew who he was before I first met him. We're down healthcare, we were in this room together, and one of the lads that I was with was talking to him, and I looked at Colin, and we both blocked each other, and I said alright to him. He said, "How we doing, mate? You alright?" Shook hands and all that. And that's when I first met Colin. He was he's a big bloke, about 6'4", big, muscly, stocky bloke. But he was a gentleman. Got on well with him. I remember he was wearing a Lacoste tracksuit. He was wearing a Lacoste cap. But now when you first meet someone, you look at them and you think, fucking hell, you can tell he's like a serious fucking person. But it wasn't until afterwards, when I got back to the wing, when I was speaking to a couple of people, and the lad that I was with, and he was telling us who he was. And what he was all about. Like I say, fucking at the time their firm was called the Bestwood Cartel. But his brother, Dave Gunn, he was in there as well. I only seen Dave a couple of times. I didn't really know Dave. Obviously when I used to go to the gym, because Colin was always at the gym, I used to have a bit of crack on with him at the gym, or just a bit banter. But Colin's the longest serving Cat.A high risk prisoner. I think he's been in 18 years now. I was speaking to a friend of mine in Frankland just the other week, and I was asking after Colin. I think he's now down in Long Lawton, and he's still Cat.A high risk, which is double Cat.A, and he's 18 years he's been on that. But when you're on Cat.A high risk, it means you're on the most severe and extreme, like, routine of regime sort of thing. Like, they check on you every hour. Like, so even when you're back in your pad and you want a bit of time to yourself, you're watching the telly, every fucking hour they're looking through your hatch, and you've got to, like, acknowledge them, turn round and fucking acknowledge them so they know that you're still there. But I've mentioned this in one of my other videos. I remember at the time, it was when I was in Frankland, at the same time, sorry, when I was in there, David Bieber, the American cop killer, who I've mentioned before, he was on the wing, same wing as Colin, and because of him, Colin got put in. He was already Cat.A high risk, and he got made Cat.A exceptional high risk, and he got put as an escape risk. So he had to wear the fucking banana suit, which is the blue and yellow suit for anyone that doesn't really know. So you only get put in that when your class is an escape risk, or you're in a high risk, exceptional high risk. But David Bieber was arranging an escape from fucking Frankland prison. He had a mobile phone and he was speaking to an undercover reporter, and he was planning to escape from Frankland. He was offering to pay someone to fucking go and hijack a helicopter, get a helicopter ride, what you can pay for, hijack the helicopter and come onto the prison yard and fucking put a ladder down and help him escape. But obviously, like I said, he was talking to an undercover reporter from News of the World, and somehow Colin got roped in with this. It had nothing to do with Colin, but he ended up getting roped into it, and they both got moved. I think it was Belmarsh. They got put on the fucking unit in Belmarsh, which is a prison inside of a prison. So there was Colin and David Bieber stuck on this unit together, and I believe that they fell out with each other. Colin wasn't happy that he'd been put in that fucking position, put in that, made to be put on that severe restrictions and everything, fucked everything up from him, got put on the unit. I'm sure it was 2 years that were on the unit before he actually got progressed back into the fucking mainstream prison, general population. And that was all to do with David Bieber, but them two were on the wing together in the unit and they weren't even speaking. But that's my thoughts and my experiences with Colin. Obviously, there's loads of videos and YouTube videos about Colin, about what he'd done outside before he got the prison, before he got the sentence. But obviously I'm not talking about any of that in this video. I'm just talking about my past experiences with Colin and how I knew Colin and how I got to know him. And Colin in Frankland, it was well known of everybody. Everyone knows Colin, well respected man. There's not many people with it, not that I ever come across or what I ever heard of. He was well liked of everybody in the system. Everybody liked him. He had no rigs what I knew of in there. And there's not many people would fuck on with Colin anyway, because like I say, it's because of the size of him. He could have a fucking right old fucking pagger as well. Hard bastard. And like I say, he was a gentleman. He got on with everyone. Everyone respected him. Everyone liked him. And he didn't have any fucking hassle with anyone. So, well, yes, big up the Bestwood Cartel. But I'll leave it there for now, people. Keep tuned. I'll be uploading more videos on Cat.A prisoners that I was in Frankland with. But enjoy the rest of your day.